Brought to you by the You Run Podcast Network. Stuff crust, yeah, fucking stuff crust. A nigga something misery, yeah, fucking stuff crust. Stuff crust, yeah, fucking stuff crust. So much cheese, gonna bust, yeah, fucking stuff crust. Stuff crust, yeah, fucking stuff crust. A nigga something misery, yeah, fucking stuff crust. Stuff crust, yeah, fucking stuff crust. So much cheese, gonna bust, yeah, fucking stuff crust.
All right, well, I'm going to do the damn thing.
Let's get it.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the You Gonna Eat That Crust podcast, Stuffed Crust edition. I'm your host with the most on the ones and twos. You know they call me Shed Dancing. You know they call me Mount Crushmore. You know I'm a small business owner now. It's your boy, Ryan Wilson. What's good, Ryan? Not much. What's good with you?
Just
Illin.
wandering with me.
Hey, yo. Also with me tonight, follically challenged himself, the motherfucking sweatpants overlord, Greg Hoey. Greg, what is good, baby?
I'm good. I went paddleboarding today. Your favorite thing.
Ah, America's favorite topic.
With my dog. Yeah. Don't get her started, man. You're going to get her excited about it.
Oh, man, what a wild week it's been for me, man. I've worked like the past 14 days now.
Speak on it.
I remember like it just seems like 14 days ago I was a small and insignificant person, much like you, Greg. But now I'm a small business owner / entrepreneur. What's up? But before, we get too far, I have to tell you about like the shit I saw on 4th of July.
Oh, boy.
So we went out to procure groceries and fireworks and such, as one does on 4th of July. And we woke up early and we hit the Dunkin' Donuts on the way. And there must have been like 10 cars in the drive-thru.
Of course.
And we get to the window, and as soon as we're at the window, there's like 2 lanes to pull out of this Dunkin' Donuts, and one's just for exiting. But this lady like stops her car and gets out. She has like 10 boxes of donuts in her hand and goes into Dunkin' Donuts. And meanwhile, there's like 5 or 6 cars just like trapped behind her. Right?
She's very aware.
Dude. She got back in the car like just a couple minutes later, and the guy behind her's like, "Yo, this is an exit only." He's like, "What are you doing?" And she get back in her car. She's like, "Fuck you." And she goes to like squeal out of the parking lot. And then before she can start going, though, the guy that was behind her's like, "It's called a diet, you fat fucking bitch." And he like squealed out after her. And like, I don't know what happened. I can only assume they killed each other after that.
Yeah, she died, actually. That lady died. He killed her.
So after that, I had to go to the Hannaford to grab some groceries. And each line had like 10 people in it, at least. So everyone's waiting in line, right? And I'm waiting in the line, and there's like an old lady with like an American flag shirt and bad tattoos. And then like some young 20-something in front of her. And all of a sudden, like I'm standing in line, I hear it's like, "You fucking cut me." And the girl's like, What?
Whoa.
She's like, "You fucking cut me, bitch." And she's like, "I'm not even in that line." She's like, "I'm in the line over here." She's like, hey, she cut you. And she's like, "Sir, I'm sorry." She's like, "Fuck you." She's like, "I'm not even talking to you, fucking cunt." And I'm like, "Oh my God, dude, these guys are going to scrap." I was like, "This is the greatest 4th of July ever." A couple minutes later, a manager came and got involved. And the funny part was like another 10 minutes, they had to stand in line right behind each other.
Jesus, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was almost like a little punishment, act like grown-ups. And the last thing I saw was just a boat fell off a car in the middle of a traffic circle. And I'm just watching these 2 like drunk dudes try to get it back onto the fucking car.
So let me tell you about this fucking wild story. You might have to beep some names and some places. I got out of work and I get a call from one of my coworkers, one of my good friends, aka Corey. Beep. And he's like, "Dude, I just dealt with this guy. He was asking for you. He said that you were his guy, and like he was in there. So let me explain that we moved over to another building. It's very small, and there's no bathroom.
Okay.
And there's a ramp that goes up to it, like a spot, like it's like almost like you're getting in an amusement park ride. You know, it's like, but it's not that big, but it's like a fucking ramp like that where you got to go around a couple things.
Yeah.
This fucking dude like walks like a fucking turtle, like a sloth, like beyond it. Like I mean, I feel bad for this guy. This is the guy I've talked about before, where when I open the door, like he gets pissed off if I like hold the door for him.
Okay.
Hey, Greg, hey, Greg, how you doing? Hey, that is his voice right there. So this new place is this little room where you kind of wait in and we buzz you in. And so we get this new system, so we're checking customers in. It's kind of a pain in the ass because we're not really trained officially on it. Like it says, it was kind of a rush. So it's a whole thing. So we're learning the system. I put that guy in that day because I knew I'm like I don't want to have this guy be a pain in the ass. But anyway, so Corey's getting the card. Like this guy's like, hey, wait, you guys don't have a bathroom here? And he's like, no. He's like, give me my card back. I'm gonna shit my pants. And I'm like fucking, I'm dying when he's telling me the story. By the way, too. And so he goes out. He's like fucking watches this guy like go down the ramp, and he sees his wife kind of help him and shit. And the dude shits his pants right in the ramp. Like, I don't know if he was wearing shorts. I don't know if he was wearing pants. But he, like, dropped a log right there. And so Corey goes back. And, like, so I feel horrible, too, because the guy's a super nice guy. And I feel like he's probably never going to come back ever again, you know? But
that'll do it.
So Corey, yeah. I mean, if I shit my pants at a place, I'll tell you what, I'm not coming back. Maybe.
Yeah, or you own it. You're like, that's my shit.
Yeah. I'm marking my territory. So he goes to get something to clean it up. And he said, he's like, by the time I get back, he's like, it's been cooking in the sun. It's like a 90-degree day, dude. It's like fucking steaming. This is human shit. It's not like picking up dog shit. When you pick up dog shit, it's pretty revolting still. I feel I take a breath before I go down for it, you know? So
absolutely.
Anyway, he cleans it up, has to hose it down, gets back in the fucking building, and there's a customer in there who walked over it. He had to walk over this shit. Oh, we're off to a bang right there. But like, so I mean, obviously, you know, we need to do something as far as like a porta potty or something. You know, I feel bad. It's horrible. It's not that dude's fault because that guy's used to going to the other building and using the bathroom, and a lot of our customers or patients are old, you know, and they're
sure.
and when you gotta go, like, and so I thought that was pretty sad, and I'm sorry about it, but it's wild.
I don't even base my, where I'm gonna shop for cannabis by the store. I go by the ease of use of the bathroom myself personally.
Totally. Yeah. People love the shit in that bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure it's not a high traffic bathroom.
I mean, I remember one guy came into our shop once and he didn't go in the, the customer bathroom. He went in the employee bathroom and he like blew the whole thing up to the point where like the whole store smelled like shit and the whole store smells like weed. So it's like really hard to fucking overpower, you know?
That makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
Fucking crazy though. Holy shit.
Seamus, I know you're not here, but I just want to say I miss you, dog. Yeah. I miss you. All right, well, we're not here to talk about shitting on walkways or, the 4th of July. That's all behind us now, literally. Tonight we're here to talk about our top 5 favorite horror games, all right? It's a subject that's near and dear to our hearts. I love me a good survival horror game. Cut my teeth on them. Fond memories of smoking weed playing Resident Evil 2 in my youth. Thanks for the weed, Dad. Anyways, let's kick it off. Greg, what was your number 5 pick, baby?
My number 5 pick is the scariest game I've ever played. Right. I could only play this game in like probably, I don't know, like half-hour intervals.
Yeah.
And this game is Condemned 2, Bloodshot.
Oh, shit.
You're like in a psych ward. It was just so intense. The noises were so intense. It was so fucking scary. It was one of those games. It was like a beat 'em up too, kind of like in your face, like almost like that Chronicles of Riddick game, like back in the day, which is actually pretty fucking dope.
You had the crowbar and shit and the baseball bat.
Yep.
Game was great.
Yeah.
Xbox, baby.
Yeah, it was Xbox, and it was actually a Sega company game.
Nice. Yeah. I think it was console exclusive too, because I don't remember seeing it on any of the PlayStations back in the day.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Obviously, the first one is good as well. Honorable mention for that one. But like I thought the second one, this really shattered me. That was the game I could only play like a half hour at a time. Most survival horror games I can go a little longer, but it's anxiety driven, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I'm gonna go with my number 5 here, and I got to take you back to the way back machine for this one, Greg. So let's hop in. You ready? All right, we're back to 1996, Greg. All right,
it's a great year.
And this game was released for the PS2, and it's called Clock Tower. In Japan, it's Clock Tower 2, but it was a super fucked up game. It takes place in Norway and follows a variety of characters as they attempt to survive the return of Scissor Man and uncover the mystery of his seemingly immortal state. I mean, it was
there
like
an eyeball on the cover.
I think so. Yeah,
okay. I remember the cover.
No, it was a guy who had a bag on his head, and there's like an eyeball sticking out. And I mean, basically, it's a point and click kind of game. You just kind of search through this building. And, like, randomly, all of a sudden, Scissor Man will come. And he's this little fucking dude with these giant fucking hedge clippers. And all you can do is, like, hide and, like, wait for him to leave the room. But he might find you and fucking cut your head off.
Yeah.
I mean, the game was scary as shit, man. I never beat it. I can only also play in intervals. And, yeah, fucking Clock Tower. I'm sure lots of people have nostalgic memories of it.
I'm going to say right now, getting into this, that I hate all games where you're being stalked by a creature, like Nemesis, like a creature you can't kill. And you know what? It's pretty much in every fucking survival horror game. There's always like one fucking part of the game where you're like, oh, sweet, I can't kill this thing until I get to the end of the level. It's going to stalk me the whole time.
Yeah. Like, it's scary as shit. I hate being defenseless.
Yeah, dude, it's like, I mean, and it's set up that way. That's why they do it, you know, obviously.
I mean, a lot of those, like, a lot of games do that now. And there's, like, entire games that obviously utilize this system. But if I can't fight back, there's, like, a 80% chance that I'm never going to beat that game.
Yeah.
I just get too scared, all right? I'm a full-grown man, all right? I have hair on my back. I get scared of video games.
I like
even
to
on the
Nintendo, in it.
Even on the Nintendo Switch, I get scared. All right.
Yeah, you immerse yourself in it. It's like watching a horror movie. You're kind of, you know, it's almost like it's scarier than a horror movie in a way because you're controlling it.
Yes, that's right. You take the lights down, you light some candles, you take your pants off, and you just start playing horror games.
And then you shit your pants.
Hey. All right, Greg, what's your number 4, baby?
Number 4 came out a year or two ago, and that would be the Resident Evil 4 remake.
Nice.
Obviously, the Resident Evil 4 game, Leon Kennedy. The original is great. I love it. It's probably my favorite Resident Evil game, and I like most Resident Evil games, even the new ones with the new, like the first persons and shit. But I don't know. This one was great. This thing's almost a 10 for me. Like, I fucking played the shit out of it and did the Ada Wong DLC as well. But,
nice.
Man, I know you played it, right? The remake?
I did. I played just a few hours of it because my time's pretty limited right now.
I gotcha.
But, yeah, man, it's fantastic. They pulled it off perfectly. And I remember the only reason I ever played Resident Evil 4 is because you lent me your GameCube.
Oh, nice.
You're like, dude, you have to play this game. I'm even going to let you borrow my GameCube just so you can play it. And I put that tiny disc in, bro, and God, I love that game.
It's the most underrated system ever. I fucking love the GameCube. Love it!
I was pretty impressed by the GameCube, man. And I think it's like, out of all the versions I played, because I played it on PS, whatever the fuck, and Switch, I think it's my favorite port that it came out on.
They actually like revamped it completely. Like they added a bunch of shit. Like, I don't know if you remember that boss you fought who's like the little kid, but he's not. He's like, I'm 800 years old.
Yeah, dude, he looks kind of like Napoleon.
Yeah, like in the remake, he looks fucked up already. Like he looks crazy. He's awesome looking. It's fucking badass. They did a killer job with that game. If you have a chance to go back and play it, you should.
Hi, Ryan Wilson here from You Can Eat That Crust podcast. Just curious, folks, have you checked out Pop Culture Reflections? It's a dope-ass podcast reflecting on all things nostalgic from the 80s, the movies, and even wrestling. I got a chance to check out a few of the episodes, and let me say, they were fantastic. But don't even mention Color Me Bad to the host. He ain't having it. That's right. Check out Pop Culture Reflections, another podcast brought to you by the You Run Podcast Network. All right, well, my number 4, Greg, is kind of piggybacking off one of yours, and it's the original Condemned, released in 2005, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I just have fond memories of the game. It was fucking creeped me the fuck out, dude. The mannequins, when the mannequins come to life in that game the first time.
That's right, yeah.
Shit. Fuck. I don't know. And you open the locker and the fucking body falls out and shit. There was a lot of fucking great shit in that game. And, kudos to Xbox for releasing it because it was one of your best horror titles. And I'm sad not more was done with it.
Yeah, totally. I feel like barely anyone played Condemned 1 or 2. They were fucking fantastic games, especially if you like the survival horror genre. I
would say the detective system, you had to like look for clues in the room and shit. Probably the best like detective system right up until Arkham Knight came out. Or Arkham Asylum, I mean, that's obviously the coolest. But they did similar shit in Condemned. And hats off, Condemned. Hats off.
Yeah, there's another one that did some similar stuff, but I'm not sure if it's on your list. It's definitely on an honorable mention, but I don't want to shout it out yet. I'll wait to the honorable mentions.
All right, sick. Well, why don't you give me your number 3, Greg?
Number 3, one of the best franchises of all time. That would be Dead Space 2, 2011. Nice. Isaac Clarke. I'm pretty sure that's the eyeball one when you get the fucking
that is
needle
laser in the eyeball.
Oh, was it a needle or was it a laser? Yeah, it was the laser. That's right. Yeah. Dead Space franchise is awesome, and that remaster, just the Dead Space 1 remaster, is fantastic. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's like a blend of Aliens meets The Thing, essentially.
Well, it's definitely like, I think it's one of the games where the environment is just as important as anything else going on in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Both Dead Space 1 and 2. I mean, I don't know. I just think that game has some of the best environments, and like, I don't even mind backtracking for that shit. It's just dope.
Totally, yeah. The atmosphere and pretty much all survival horror games like kind of make it good or like just improve it. With the sound, obviously, is a huge thing.
Yeah. I love the way you dismember the shit in that game too. Like you got the laser that sweeps across the floor, and you cut their arms and legs off. And shit.
Yeah. The fucking weapons are awesome in that game. The upgrade system's awesome. Again, have you played the remake for the new one?
I have not. No,
it's fucking awesome. They did like I still think the Resident Evil 4 remake is better than that one, but I like Dead Space better than Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
So it was great.
Nice. All right, my number 3, Greg. I don't know how familiar you are with this, and it's one of those games that I never beat. Too fucking scary. All right, and that game is Outlast.
No, you told me about Outlast though. I wanted to play it.
Yeah, I know I have them both on Switch, but that game is, dude, fucking scary as shit, man. And it's twisted as fuck. Like, I don't know. It's got some of the best jump scares I've seen in a game. And the environment and how the whole game looks, it's so grimy and fucking. It's a great game. I put like 5 hours into it, I think, and then I was just too scared.
I couldn't do it.
I try to play it every October because eventually I'm going to get through that shit.
Nice. Yeah.
And Outlast 2, I mean, that's another, it was similar, obviously, gameplay. All you can do is hide and fucking, you have a limited time with your flashlights. And you can like hide under beds. You can just see people's feet walking around the bed and shit. And you get high speed chases with dudes, and it's scary as shit, man. Outlast, though.
Yeah,
I recommend it.
I like that we have some games that people aren't familiar with, maybe, with the Condemns and the Outlast, even though, if you're a fan of the genre, then you probably are.
Yes. All right. Greg, we're up number 2.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead.
It's getting meaty. I was just talking to a few friends about this, and they were like, I don't know if this is really survival horror. I was like, this game scared me, and it definitely had survival horror elements. And this is also one of the best franchises of all time, going down to Rapture and fucking little Andrew Ryan for BioShock.
Yeah, man.
Like, I still remember getting off, like, going down the tunnel, and it's just fucking awesome because it's a city under the sea. And, like, you're going down there, and it looks fucking amazing, but then you start to see some chaos and fucking explosion. You're like, what the fuck? And then when you get down there, there's, like, splicer. I didn't even want to get out of my tube. Like, I was like, what the fuck is that? I sat in there for, like, 10 minutes. I remember texting Seamus. I was like, is this a survival horror game? He's like, I guess there's survival horror elements. So I was like, then it scared the fuck out of me. So that's relevant today, that text.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That game, I agree. There's some spots in that game that are just creepy as shit, man. And you like slowly walk into a room not knowing what to expect. I mean, there's some freaky as fuck parts in that game,
like
man.
the art. I forgot the guy's name. When you go in like the art section, and the guy's like fucking crazy, doing all sorts of shit. Great twist. And would you kindly give me your number 2?
Oh shit!
Boom.
All right. Well, my number 2. It's Resident Evil 7.
Is that the family one?
Yeah.
That's an honorable mention for me. Fuck yeah.
All right. I loved that game. I mean, the environment was amazing in it. I mean, the place looked grimy and swampy and freaky as shit. I mean, the enemies in that game are so memorable.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, getting chased by the fucking the bug bitch, just fucking, she's got bugs coming out of her stomach and she's crawling up the walls and she's upside down, and the body horror in that is just out of control.
The mom.
Dude, the one in the wheelchair who just keeps like appearing in different places.
Yeah, the mom. And then I'm talking about like too, like there's I don't know if you played in the DLC, but in the DLC you're in the bed. And it's like almost like a misery situation where you have to like unlock your fucking handcuffs and like get around and like look around the room and shit. And then when she comes back, you have to get back and like lock all your shit back up and like get back into bed. And like if she notices anything, she fucking gets you. It's so fucking scary. I hate that game. It's great.
Yeah, your girlfriend in that game when you first see her too,
Maya.
Oh man, that shit was intense. Obviously. The body, I mean, the dismemberments in that game are just great. The enemies look crazy. I mean, when you go down to the basement into that fucking morgue.
Yep.
Whoo! And those badass, like, dudes, that so hard to kill. Those, oh man.
Those are guys that you can see the inside of their, like, you can see the insides, and you have to, like, use, like, actually, was that 4? That might have been 4. I'm confusing them.
Yeah, these are just big, sludgy, very hard to kill creatures, and God, I mostly ran through that shit and tried to run by them all.
Did they like flop on? They like flopped on the ground too and like came at you, right? Like those things. Like if you shot their legs off, they would still like crawl after you. Yeah. Those were in 4 too.
Yeah.
And aren't those the ones that have the organs inside that you need like the X-ray to like see their organs so you can like shoot their hearts, and they have like 3 hearts?
No, that's definitely 4, baby.
Okay, and those guys fucking suck.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Don't they have the spikes coming out of them and shit?
I think they do when they get close, but they like kind of like wobble and walk like they're a fucking Ring movie or something like that.
Yeah, so that was a good one for me, man. It came out at the perfect time. I mean, I enjoyed it immensely. And
it was the first person Resident Evil attempt.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, the second one was great too. The one they just released.
The Village.
The Village, and continuing the story and shit. It wasn't that I hated getting stalked. You're getting stalked in that one as well by the vampire lady with the big boobs. Stop.
Yeah, she was like 7.5 feet tall. Too.
Yeah, she was crazy. Yeah, it was awesome.
The weird boner, man. Weird boner.
Yeah. Oh no, she got me.
All right, well, this brings us, Greg, to our number 1, and I have a feeling I probably know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say The Last of Us 2.
All right.
Is that what you thought I was going to say?
Something that something in that ballpark.
Oh, you thought I was gonna say The Last of Us?
Look, let's just go. Last of Us 2. Speak on it.
The greatest story ever told in any game. The fucking whole Last of Us series. Like, I've never cried during a video game until I played The Last of Us. Like, I'll admit it. Like, that game gets me teary. And then the fucking remaster came out, and I'm like, ha, my daughter's about to die. I know that's coming. I'm not going to cry. And then I'm like, oh my God, it like happened again. But the fucking emotional shit with Last of Us 2, and I don't want to spoil too much because they're about to release Last of Us 2, or not they're about to release it. They're working on the season 2 of Last of Us. And I'm pretty sure they're splitting it into 2 seasons, which kind of sucks. And you know where it's going to end. You know where it's going to split, and it's going to piss people off. But, like, dude, it's just so fucking good. I mean, that was necessary just to make the story and the tension between Abby and fucking Ellie. Holy shit. Yeah, the tension between Abby and Ellie is insane. And Abby's, you just kind of walk the line where you don't know who you're rooting for. And it's they do a great job. Yeah, it's fucking, and even at the end, I remember I was like, no, stop it. Stop fighting each other. Like, it was.
After what Abby did, you're like, fuck this bitch. She sucks.
Yeah.
But then when you start going through her story and like learning why she is the way she is, I mean, you absolutely grow sympathetic towards her. And, I mean, the confrontation at the end of that game, likewise, I was screaming at the TV, like, don't do it!
Yeah, it was like
You're
sad.
losing your humanity, don't do it!
Dude, that also teared me up when she tries to play guitar at the end. And she doesn't have the fingers, and it's like, oh my fucking God, dude.
Yeah. And that was almost like her one, connection to our friend who goes,
listen,
in that game.
If any listeners want to borrow my PlayStation 5 so they can play, just kidding. But seriously though, even if you're not a video gamer, like Last of Us series is like playing a fucking movie. It's so fucking good. The storytelling is amazing. The atmosphere, everything, like it's like a fucking perfect 10, both of them. Last of Us 1 and Last of Us 2. I fucking love them.
I agree. And fuck the haters on that game.
It's like the woke shit. Like people, because there's gay characters in it, they get all fucking worked up.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's fucking dumb.
The game's so woke, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The story stands on its own, no matter what your sexual orientation is.
Yeah,
all right?
Dude. It's just good storytelling, man.
I will say, I mean, some of the parts in that game made me so anxious. Like, when you're walking through the newsroom, the news station, the TV station place, after you got people suspended from the ceiling and there's like writing on the walls and blood and shit.
Oh yeah.
Walking through that bit. Oh God, dude.
It's Handmaid's Tale-esque a little bit.
Yeah. And when you know that there's a room full of clickers, like my anxiety, all the hairs on my arm are standing up as I'm slowly creeping through that room. Whoo!
I gotta say, I did enjoy Fallout Show a little bit more than The Last of Us. In saying that, like, because The Last of Us is the best video game adaptation I've ever seen. It was fucking absolutely amazing. They nailed it. They definitely changed some things, and the game was better. I'm gonna say it. The game is better than the show. Fight me, but if you haven't played it and watched it, then you can't have an opinion on that. But I have.
I will also say the Rat King fight in 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, dude. So tense. Good. So horrifying.
Let me say they did a pretty good job, but in the first game there when you meet David, the guy who like you're fighting with David and shit, and then he's like, yeah, my boys were looking for a guy and a girl. Like like you're like, oh fuck. Like that was good shit, dude. And they're like eating people.
Yeah. All right, well, my number one pick, Greg. The Last of Us Part 1. What's up?
Oh, shit. I mean, so originally I had Last of Us 1 at number 1 and Last of Us 2 at number 2. Then I was like, I'm switching it. And then I just took Last of Us 1 off because I forgot about BioShock.
The moral quandaries in that game, Joel having to say the things he says and do what he has to do. So upsetting. Joel's daughter being murdered. I mean, one of the most heartbreaking parts in a video game, probably ever.
God damn it, Danny DeVito.
just so good, man. I mean, I high praise. I mean, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I mean, arguably it could be better than the second one. Like the reason I chose the second one is because the gameplay is just so much better. Like the fucking, the shooting and shit is just improved.
Gameplay is perfected, obviously.
Yeah, like you shoot someone, and you're like, oh my god, they shot Ryan, and he's like on the ground, like, go fuck, he shot me in the arm. It's fucking intense, man, and it's like so fucking real. It's awesome. But the first one, fucking fantastic. I gotta say, Joel is like top 2 video game character, or top 5 at least, but like between him and Arthur Morgan, like I'm pretty sure they're voiced by the same fucking person, actually. But like Joel is just a fucking great character. He's awesome, even though he does a lot of bad shit too. But you just root for him, and same with Arthur Morgan.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, I finally finished watching the Last of Us TV show like 2 weeks ago.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I had like 4 episodes to go, and I powered through them in one night, and loved it.
Yeah, it's great.
Pedro Pascal is America's hero now, obviously. Him and Jeremy Renner, of course.
He's about to be the villain in The Gladiator.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't excited for that movie until I saw he was in it.
Yeah, same. I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I have a couple honorable mentions as well, Greg, that I'd like to get off my chest.
Get it.
All right, Until Dawn for PS4.
You told me about it.
You have to play it, man. It's so good. I mean, there is some cheese in it, but it's intentional cheese.
We were brought up on Resident Evil games, man. We can handle the cheese. Resident Evil's got some fucking cheese in it. American cheese.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of choice-based game, and each choice, affects the outcome of the game. There's a bunch of different endings. All your guys can survive, or none of them can survive. Plus, you get fucking Rami Malek, and he's weird enough looking on his own. But then throw in the fucking horrifying monsters they had in that game, and it's great.
Oh, he's not the monster? I thought he was the monster.
He's not the monster.
I'm just joking.
Humanity is the monster.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, dog. That's deep. Next honorable mention, motherfucking Dino Crisis.
Nice.
Dude, the game was great. And it turns into a full-blown action game by the end of the game. But the first, hour or two of that game is, pretty intense survival horror with dinosaurs who I don't think are utilized enough in a scary fashion.
Oh, the new Jurassic Park game looks fucking awesome.
I have not seen anything about it yet.
It's like a first-person survival game. It looks crazy as fuck, dude. It's awesome. There's a little building. You're doing some building in it, collecting materials and shit, but you're also getting stalked by dinosaurs. Looks pretty fucking sick. I'll send you over the trailer.
We're lassa. All right, my last honorable mention is an older game as well. I think it was PS1 even. And that's Parasite Eve.
Nice.
Yeah, man. It had great body horror in it. I mean, one night I fell asleep to a 14-hour Parasite Eve documentary. I mean, I fell asleep at 9:30 and I woke up at 5 in the morning and it was still playing.
Creepy.
Yeah, it was, it has a really interesting backstory. It had really cool gameplay as well. I mean, you got all these cool powers and shit, but it was hard as balls. And, I don't miss that. But big ups to Parasite Eve.
Parasite Eve! Oh, good games. Final Fantasy, right? Or Chrono Trigger,
baby.
At least Chrono Trigger.
All right, you got any more honorable mentions, Greg?
Yes, sir. So I feel like we have to say this if we're doing a survival horror game, and that's Silent Hill. I've never played Silent Hill, which is crazy because I was never a PlayStation guy until maybe 2 or 3, and I just it was it always felt like the generic Resident Evil, though I've heard it's better than Resident Evil in some aspects. But I'm not, I know there's a dude with a pyramid on his head.
Yeah, his name's Pyramid Head. Very clever
that
name.
About him. Yeah.
So I beat Silent Hill 1 and 2 when they came out originally.
Nice.
And I will say they're right up there with anything in Resident Evil. And Silent Hill 2 has some of the scariest fucking shit I've witnessed in a video game yet. Amazing creature design. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen some pics of the creatures. They do look fucking pretty dope.
Gameplay, it's not great. And I think maybe with the reboots coming out, it seems like they haven't really fixed that part of it yet. So let's get on that shit, Konami.
Hey.
And actually, the Silent Hill movie was pretty dope.
That's right here. I have not seen it, but I should.
Silent Hill 2, it's one of those low talking movies. I hate it. I hate low talking movies. Fix that shit. Audio editors.
Yeah. Resident Evil 2. I almost clicked my pen there. I kind of did. We'll do it again. To unclick it. Resident Evil 2, double disc. Loved it. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was kind of the one Resident Evil 1, it's pretty mid. I mean,
it's groundbreaking, but
it was at the time. And I don't know if I ever, I think that might be the only Resident Evil game I didn't beat. Game was hard as shit. Yeah, that part with the snake was pretty fucking scary.
Yep.
On the PS1.
Yeah, right.
But Resident Evil 2 was a whole different ball game. I mean, I beat that game a couple times. Just a fantastic game all around. I mean,
absolutely.
The follow-up Nemesis, the original one anyway. I played that game like probably 3 or 4 times.
I am also going to say this was on the bust list for me too, but I'm still going to bring it up because it was still like awesome in some ways. The story was awesome, and that's Calypso Protocol. It was worth to play just for the story alone. The story was very cool. The graphics were very cool. You were like in a prison ship, you were like a prison ship. You were framed. Of course, you were framed. You're like Josh Duhamel or whatever. I forgot who you are, but Josh Duhamel. But yeah, man, it's great. At first, when I was playing it, like you're doing the combat, you're like fucking boxing these things. It's like it's really fucking innovative. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. But then, like after the third one, you fight, like, all right, this is getting really fucking old. the movement was just shit. Like it was just like so. It was so intense. I remember I put it on easy, and I was like, fuck this. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. I want to beat this game. I just need to do it. But
yeah,
Resident Evil Biohazard, which was. I thought
7.
that was exactly. That was on my list, but you had that. And then the Evil Within series as well. That was a really fucking dope series.
You know what, man? It took me, I couldn't play that game on normal. I don't know why. It was just too hard for me. And like, I never play games on easy, but that was the first game I switched down to easy. And I beat it, and I'm glad I did because it's a great game. Yeah,
it is fantastic. It kind of reminds. It's also another honorable mention. Alan Wake. Not so much as Alan Wake 2. I couldn't get into it, but even though I saw what they did with it, they did a good job. But I don't know.
Yeah, I played a lot of Alan. I played that on Xbox 360, I believe.
I mean, the first one was dope as hell. The second one was up for like Game of the Year, and like again, like I liked it. They did a great job with it. It just was a little too slow paced for me. But the detective system on that game was pretty fucking sick too.
Yeah.
But
I played
go ahead.
I was going to say, I played a little bit of it, and I thought it was cool. If I had more free time, I'd probably go through and beat it. I played a lot of Control as well.
Nice.
I mean, I played pretty much all their games. Even that shitty Quantum Break one.
Hey. I was thinking you were doing dishes in that one, but no, that's the other game. That's Detroit Human.
Yeah, Detroit Become Human, which is a great game, Seamus. But, I don't know. I love the whole universe. I love the whole Alan Wake universe. I love the pages of notes you see written. I love their like weird little commercials they have on the TVs and like the tiny TV shows and shit they have. It's just such a cool universe.
Yeah,
and I'm excited to see where they go with it. Even though I think Remedy is in some trouble. I heard.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Do you remember the opening scene for Evil Within there with the butcher? You're like hanging upside down with a butcher. Like I remember I almost gave up on that game because I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And like I think that was like before I started looking up shit in games. Like, all right, if I'm stuck, I'm looking it up, instead of trying to power through it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pro looking shit up in games. I don't like to be frustrated by video games. I want to enjoy my time with them.
Yeah.
I mean, if I spend like 2 minutes on a puzzle in a game, like, nope, fuck this. What do I do?
Yeah, I know. I remember I was going like playing Zelda, and I was like going to all the like little temples, and I would just be like, "Yep, Google, yeah." And I'm like, I'm not fucking with any of this shit. It's fucking so frustrating. The puzzles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were they trying to make me think?
My last honorable mention, Greg, I got one more,
Okay.
and that's Heavy Rain, from the creator of Detroit Become Human. Heavy Rain was crazy, man.
Christian Slater, Randy Quaid.
No, stop.
That's hard, Rain.
They did some cool shit with like the motion controls in that game. Like there was one part where you had to like drive the opposite way down a highway for like 5 minutes or some shit, and you had to like use the control like a steering wheel.
Yeah,
Shit was dude, it was intense as fuck, dude. I flipped my car and went off the road. But that's what it's like, and then like the way it works is like if that's what happens, you can't reload that shit. That's the choice. That's what happens. I mean, it's another one of those games where all your characters can die.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, it's cool serial killer story. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. But you know, there's a part where your son gets lost in the mall and you just keep like, Adam.
That sounds like it would get annoying.
It was corny as shit. That's the most memorable part of that any game I've ever played.
Reminds me of that Bill Burr bit when he's talking about the kid with the battery. Kevin! And then Kevin comes out of the woods with a fucking battery in him.
The kid that's missing, your son, gets hit by a car and dies. So, spoiler alert. Game's pretty old, though.
I gauged that right up.
It's on PS3, so, I mean, it's your fault if you haven't played it yet.
All
right, anything else you'd like to talk about, Greg?
I just want to let the audience know it's not your fault.
It's not
your fault.
It's not your fault. Hamburger sandwich.
No, I think that's it for me. Yeah, I watched The Bear. I think you would like The Bear, even though I know it's your anxiety, but it's really well done.
It's not my anxiety. It's my fucking life, dude.
I know, but like, would I not would I not watch a show on like weed? But like, I don't know, man. It's my life. If it's it's just good acting.
Yeah, but I mean, the difference between like working in a dispensary where you're sitting down,
I know, it's
weed, selling weed. My job just kills my body constantly.
Dude, people are shitting their pants in my job. It's tough.
I mean, I don't know. It's a hard job, man. And, you know, I guess the Bear does a good job of representing that because I do drink out of a deli container, just like Jeremy Allen White.
Oh, cool.
I also smoke cigarettes, just like Jeremy Allen White.
Every fucking cook in the world.
No, not these days, man. Nobody smokes anymore. We're the last of a dying, literally, breed. And the only thing I don't do is I don't crouch when I smoke cigarettes because that just makes my knees hurt. Just looking at that shit. But I've definitely like scrubbed floors like that. I remember the first episode there. He's like scrubbing at a spot on the floor. I've been that guy.
What's his name is in it, who I fucking love, is the dude from We Are the Millers, William Poulter.
Oh, that kid's great.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. Like I said, it's just really good acting. The opening scene is super intense, like with the and I can see that giving you anxiety, but just like the family is nuts, and Jamie Lee Curtis plays the mother, and she just fucking crushes it. You're like, this lady is fucking insane. She's insane. And you know who the brother is?
Oh.
John Berthnall.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yep,
that's and awesome. He's fucking awesome too. Like it's great. It's very heavy. It is very heavy though at times. It's good drama. I like it.
Well, so here's what's happening right now, Greg. I'm gonna power through the rest of Your Honor. I have like 5 episodes to go. Then I'm gonna power through the rest of Mayor of Kingstown.
I gotta watch that.
And then maybe I might watch The Bear after that.
Nice. I just started Shameless. I know I'm like 18.
You've never watched Shameless?
No.
I love Shameless. It's great.
I heard that gets bad as well, though, too. I've heard that from like
I disagree.
Everyone. Really? You liked it all the way through?
I liked it all the way through, man. I love the characters. Fucking Frank, the dad, is fucking amazing in that show, dude. It's my favorite thing. What the fuck's that guy's name?
It's William H. Macy.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite William H. Macy thing he's ever done.
I mean,
and I feel like I've met that dude like 100 times. So
let's be honest. I mean, what has William H. Macy really done? You know.
Well, he's just
I know he's a good actor,
dependable actor.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, there. I know. What did the Coen brothers think of William H. Macy? They love him. All right.
That's true.
And I love the Coen brothers.
Yeah, I guess he plays a certain character. I take that back. Edit that. I love you, William H.
All right, and yeah, we all love William H., but that's going to wrap it up for another episode of the You Gonna Eat That Crust podcast, Stuffed Crust edition. Seamus, we obviously love you. Wish you could have been here. And I want to tell you all, you're beautiful, beautiful people.
Yeah. Thank you so much for checking us out. You guys want to check us out on Spotify, Apple Pod Music, all that stuff, YouTube. And if you want to subscribe or give us any reviews, we'll take some 5-star reviews. That would be awesome. We'd appreciate it. It helps the show out. And we're on Patreon if you want to look us up and help us out. We appreciate you. And thanks for listening.
Yeah, and always we're repping the You Run Podcast Network. A lot of great shows on there. If you haven't listened to them, what are you even doing with your life? All right?
Yeah, I'm a Z-boy.
Get your shit together, all right?
Yeah.
Listen to that shit. I know there's a lot of stuff to listen to. There's a lot of stuff to listen to. But just listen to the best at the You Run Podcast Network.
There's always something for everybody there, which is great. There's a lot of variety of shows. It's awesome.
That's right. And last but not least, in Crust, we trust.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Stuff crust.